Dave, good morning.
Good morning.
Nah, I'm to say.
Oh,
I fine boy.
Yeah, with this help.
I fine boy. I fine boy. I saw Chimney, I said Tishana. Yeah, who's your job? And see when Tishana no pay.
Yeah, Yamia Daruma.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah,
that was okay. Operation was a day. And now for US by Canada, so much Canada, so I advise you some nose mask.
Or your operations, baby.
Nah, nose mask.
Yeah, bet you for now. You're my aquava. They've been watch it.
I know, the idea, I say, you could take a crack.
I
Then we share a friend saying, no smart sound of pay.
Oh,
we
just okay. Wake a crab, so I didn't need to show to the public. That's why.
Oh, now send any issue.
Not everybody who will take it as so just try to cover it.
Yeah, and so you're better taking this you take this
You're tossing in him come on. Now, are you a government worker looking for quick access to financial assistance at most competitive interest rates? And now, but and pay attention to me because CBG4 SMN good news. We say and from almost look no further. CBG is offering you access to loans of up to 250,000 Ghana cedis and up to 72 months repayment period. 72 months repayment period. Now, for more information on how to access a CBG controller loans, walk into any of CBG's 114 branches across the nation. Now, from 0302 216 with me any CBG4 Eddie in South. So now also basically open up to 250,000 Ghana cedis but also unsa akibidi here and say oju aketua efa air controller ho na una wo see no come website www.cbg.com.gh but also ubetimi enya sasika be terms and conditions apply enti yen share and so it's unfortunate say Belka womo agent ambassador was to the Annual Fatisha Bali, Waman Muso, but Belka cotton paint there. Or the paint you feel out and say, yes, if you know, agent and a nice odorless, soundproof, fireproof, it serves as a repellent against mosquitoes and insects. It's reusable, it seals cracks on buildings, it doesn't fade, doesn't get dirty, and it's resistant to air heat as well. Above all, they give you 2 years warranty. Paint, I will tell the paint you feel, yes, and somehow 2 years warranty. Umpere, now upper them. But your old Machakwa, Kaswa, New Market, second gate on Mabuhu, Mohonum, Taifa, Omo El Burkina, opposite the Roman School, Takwa 1111, opposite Malcolm, Kufudua, Kole, opposite Magdick Royal Plaza, Sunyani at Tronier Station, Kumasi, Brokum, Limix, with me no more Edin Sawaso, L 0242 232 963, 0242 232 963. Now also only more Eddie and Common. In so dear, I am quack. When you put us in here, I was saying, I shall see, I was about the time I done couldn't be, now I need be about 3 liters there, 1 be. By you be on a back of the entire day near no monsieur back home, but your bombardier so being awake purified drinking water. 1 more 330 ml, 500 ml, and to own you be outside 80 minutes, monsieur guna. When you have 330 ml, 500 ml, be now a show bag more on our ocean. 1 more 750 ml, 1.5 liters, and it Nancy and 19 liters jar. 1 more introduce you. Dear Fendi, any kind of say auto and sweep aqua. Patronomatis can be added a the National Cardiothoracic Center, our Kolebu Teaching Hospital. The bacho so benusia mano enye awake purified drinking water offer Casa Peco Company Limited for 0262 351 251 one more any within come no match it so send also odon baba dom one more ebusuano I don't connect level premium energy drink for Esmen Cantos and Pacho send no shed anasino I say when I'm milk kakra mo unya I don't connect level premium energy drink I don't co a angel group of companies for NAA, but obenya vitamins, proteins, more energy, it boost more high concentration and memory improvement. But it relieve your body no bodily pains into your but the entire day you are sorted. You can go about your duties. Obetia from 020 4898 698 020 4898 na only more eddy and excessive drinking can be detrimental to your health. Intention so akoda only 18 years but you want me enumbi and afi oba for your funu anaso ma akoda no for nsusu no men numbi anti ni nyina no yen hye and so Heritage Christian College for some can just say Obaba no and Ababe man wa catch us up so Usia Nesina but one more a BSc nursing degree program our Heritage Christian College accredited by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission and a nurses and midwifery counselor but one bit me akusia a nursing our honum but all my other programs be at accounting, marketing, human resource management, banking and finance, any business, information technology management, and the modern sounds who uniomo ebedi and common. One more other courses be at CIMG, ICM, and short media courses from 020 8399 020-229-8399. Now only more MD and common. Now, are you in search of a trusted estate company to buy from? Look no further. Hat Builder Real Estate Forceman can just one more award litigation freelancer award developed areas echo at very affordable rates one more flexible terms of payment. You can get a plot of land for as low as 20,000 Ghana cedis. You can make an outright payment of 20,000 or make an initial deposit of 10,000 Ghana cedis and the rest spread over a period of 6 months for you. The good news is that it doesn't end there. You can start any dream project on the land after your initial deposit. We allow you build whilst you continue to pay a year for the land. One more on Sasana, a year Shine Hills, Ningo Pram, and Chopoli. It's a more than answer from 0241 665200 0241 665200. Now on your more Eddie and Common. One more errand other services be it is a borehole drilling, architectural drawing, biodigester, cement, bricks, blocks, strong, tough, and affordable polytanks, plumbing materials, and so much more. And to my body answer on your more ebedi and common. Maybe be a and kind at the amount. Remember back to the studio. Na yendi and common. Yeah. Minim se assembly ewa koma pono so abesi die ho koma sana ya hyase ne akọ asen north and ase impo teacher licensure exams omo kotwe no ho ensensem me yenim komo bibi o akoma pono so na
ya same ye be chia bi na ya chia atiefo na ahwefo nyina ya da nyankopon asese asan de ya ababe hye hase bi David me chia o me ho wache Same, I said over the weekend. Fast. I'm a repented soul.
Oh, but I think our viewers would be okay with you without the announcements. I think they'll be okay with you.
That's wrong with COVID. Saba, unim COVID.
Because we home, we have to be sad. COVID na so bad.
I didn't find you. Me na officer, you lead me not into temptation. A friend is saying over the weekend. Reverend Dr. Steve Mensah and Nasori omukodi adwuma bi ewo Ningo Pram district on friend same ability village project project no bota attach and attention in theater and say omo ye nhihye anaso omu tu anamo na ye nuano ma omo physical challenge omo atimi anya baby papa atena na face so moanya adwuma papa aye enkonkwaye ne ye ka say we are going to help the disabled and stuff na ye de ano ka keke na fe ye be ne marketing kitibia enye sustainable. This is going to be a sustainable long-term project. We share the scope of work and everything involved now. Say Ghana anywhere say etimi a support project now. Idea pa. Indeed, I was extremely happy when the Vice President in his speech says he would take a greater interest in that project because, as we all know, I mean, when it comes to persons with disability, Dr. Bawumia is one of the persons, one politician. I mean, even just before and son of vice president, he's been dealing with persons with disability. Ghana has say, it's important. Say you best support to project be alleviate the pain, the suffering, and the financial or the economic activities of your friends, persons with disability. I mean, you want more street so you feel say, is that all that they can do? Is that all that they can do? Until Reverend Steve Mensane, Mamina Toshe, Darky Ward Mills, Sam George, Honorable Adjuan Toso, and all the big guys who came there, I bet Ukraine and all of those people now, when you know, Baho, best support to project, pledge, I think say, and I'm him for morning go pram or commitment to the project, and they are a shame cry pa. Nti nyina because no ya bompa say project no e be wie pay san say it me complete a e be boa ama yenua no ma physically no omo ene ahoden no omo so atimi ayusu nyansa ya media mo no omo contribute to the socio-economic development of the nation. So basically that's what I would like to comment on.
All right, Dave, is there any issue you'd like to touch on?
Well, just flip add up to what Obeyman you said. You know, I mean, we've seen disability on the streets as if we are a nation who doesn't care about them. There are a whole lot of schemes on book that are designed for them, but never comes to fruition. So such a project, if it does come to reality, will be a great stuff to be willed. But then my brother was giving some accolade to Dr. Bawumia, how he has been friends with disability people. I mean, you see, only a coffee free. It's nothing like that. Disability or a campaign or but something I wanted to add, a campaign or something small I wanted to add. Over the weekend, there was a boot camp for youths in Keta, Angloga, and South Tone areas, and for youth secondary school students, and over 1,300 people were there to participate. They were taken to different drills, and it reminds me of when we were young and this scout stuff. Yeah. But I watched a few of the things they did, and I think that it's quite commendable. And if the organizers, I think it was organized by NECA Foundation. NECA Foundation, and I think that if that is repeated across the country, it would help to kind of motivate our young ones, take them through certain things, values that we are all lacking. I mean, in our young ones these days. Something very interesting, they were having a parade, and the kids were angry because they hadn't taken breakfast yet. The usual, you know, and somebody said that when they in their homes and schools, when they wake up, the first thing they do is to start eating banku. So this drill, you have to do some exercise, do some cleanups before you get to. So and I'm just saying that it's good if those boot camps can be organized for young people across the country. It will go a long way to reinstill some values in them.
Well, yes, I see them for I see North and share. I see, yeah. Climax, you know, 1 year your more final campaign. Every Mampenia Kupimo on the former president, flag bearer for the NDC Kupimo on gurus of both political parties or more others who grounds are. Yes, him saying me opportunity. By this time, they now report near file as to what is pertaining the Electoral Commission. So I graduate process now I kickstarted. So far, the entire process of who is saying.
Well, I think it's been peaceful so far, with the exception of the friends Nkwenshia Asia any politically motivated. Now, I'm saying nipa NDC side nipa ba could be ashrin and I think say Nana Richard Ahiaba was also saying say a pro MPP communicator also has lost his life because of I think asthma attack or something like that. But beyond this, I think say the campaign has been peaceful. The parties have conducted themselves well. The usual propaganda and the usual lies that characterize elections is also playing out. The accusations against the Electoral Commission, for instance, by Sami Gyamfi that the MPP candidate is not a registered voter and all of those things. But all in all, I think it's been peaceful. There has not been any form of violence. The parties have been tough. They have gone round in every community within the constituency. And indeed, it will be an interesting outcome because you look at the history of this constituency, it is not a constituency that is for the NDC. If you look at the history and you look at the electoral performance. And I have always said, it's just like Honorable Bate Zidim's constituency. Anytime you have the NDC in his constituency misbehaving, MPP coolly takes it. That is the trend. So anytime, so you look at the instance that the NDC won the seat, it was purely because MPP were fighting.
Okay.
They were fighting among themselves. It was the DC versus the MP, and then the NDC, Gyakye Quayson took advantage. Of course, at that time, he was the right person in terms of capacity, in terms of disposition to represent the people, because the two parties were, the MPP supporters were fighting among themselves. So he won the seat by 3,000. But the presidential, for instance, Nana Akufo-Addo won the presidential, though the margin was not too big. What it tells us is that, I say, that Assin-North enclave, is not, though a MPP, and when it was the whole Assin-North before Assin Central came in, it was Canada Japan winning the seat from 2000 up to 2008, when the 2012, when the constituency was divided, and then Ken had to go to Assin Central, and MPP had to go to the Assin-North had to come. So all in all, you can say it can go to either side. MPP can win the seat based on the fact, say, one, the parties who were involved in ensuring that they lose or that ensure their defeat in 2020, those parties are not involved in this. None of them picked up forms to even contest the primaries. And the man who won the primaries, Charles Opoku, Omomoti constituency, they will tell you, say he's a known person in the constituency because of Nenyuma, Wayama, and Krofo. So these are some of the factors that will influence the outcome of the election tomorrow. Gyakye Quayson, Same, political parties are elected to protect our constitution. Members of parliament are elected to pass laws so that laws that will govern how we behave, how things are supposed to be done in the country. And so Gyakye Quayson, his issues from 2012 up to 2020, can we say that he should be forgiven? That's the question I'm asking, because 2012, he attempted to go to parliament on the ticket of the NDC. It didn't work. 2016, he made the same attempt. It didn't work. 2020, so 2012, he was a Canadian. 2016, he was a Canadian. 2020, he was a Canadian. And the argument they will say is that the process, it was just left with the issuance of a certificate. Same, Okoye passport. Now we'll go through the process. Say we never have a passport no more. You are not a passport holder, and and the only thing I do not understand is if you look at the Musa Kande situation, it was the same thing. British citizen, right? He also lied to the Electoral Commission, or in this case, the Electoral Commission. And so, in his case, Onone Dieno was all the cases were tried one. So once it came out that Onye, he was not properly qualified, straight to jail. Straight to jail. And that's what the question the president said yesterday. He said, in 2012, Gyakye Quayson going to jail. Sorry, your friend said Adamu Sakande going to jail. President Mahama was the vice president at that time. He saw nothing wrong with that. He was quiet. The NDC lawyers, and indeed, the MPP knew that, look, Akwan Wayan Fonso, so the law must deal with him. So there was nothing like appeal. So why do we do this to ourselves?
Are the cases the same? Where as much as your point is valid, say for instance, what's the most to say passport here as okay? That passport is not a mini passport. As much as I would have gone through the process, but if I don't have the passport, I can't travel. Yeah. It's a valid case. But are the cases the same in terms of a declaration? Say, yes, may try my final paper. Adamu did not declare that, did he? He didn't.
Sammy, law, no, what does the law say? But say, ansana obe file to contest, no. As I said, we full-blown Ghanaian. Simplicity, alone, Mali. At the time he was filing, was he a full-blown Ghanaian? As far as nationality is concerned. And I'm happy that at least, you know, maybe America say, yeah, democracy in any, so new people are coming out with ideas and stuff. Now I've heard Professor Bafo Ajimanduya suggesting that this kind of say we are Ghanaian and so only allegiance to USA. Maybe for me, I would love that we will limit it only to the presidency. So that a president and a vice president, there should not be any excuse. You should be a Ghanaian and owe no allegiance to anybody, any other country. But your friend is saying maybe you can do that to ministers as well. Though, but ministers also become members of parliament, or MPs also become ministers. So maybe you can say only the president, any other person.
Yeah, me issues with me call law school there, but me issues with sometimes how the law is interpreted. I take it, you know, the Supreme Court made us to understand that at the time of the filing of nominations, it's our time now, and a kick in. For me, I see that to be an internal contest. I will be a file it. But where it becomes...
Where is it? Which one are you saying?
Where for instance, at the point where Gyakye Quayson
was filing at the Electoral Commission?
No, at the time I will file it with the intent to be contested as a candidate for the NDC. At that time, that time a set in. But at the time of the declaration of post, MPP one more candidate, NDC one more candidate. But that's my thinking. I may be wrong. That is where I think say it should kick in. As in say onipana citizenship no component. It's the same. As the Supreme Court has ruled, so my thoughts really doesn't matter.
In fact, the parties at their level, as NDC and MPP, are minded by these things. That so they have a vetting committee, and they have a committee, a subcommittee that looks at all of those things, so that David Tamakloe will file to contest maybe Kitu South or maybe Bantama, and then they look at it. And all questions will be asked. You need to tell us the truth. And so that is where I remember Alote Jacob saying that in 2016, for instance, he declined your friend said Gyakye Quayson's attempt because of he said he was not properly Ghanaian. And so how come that thing came out? because it was based on investigations. Because the party, I mean, say it way, David, or your American here, somebody will know. Or your full-blown Ghanaian, somebody will also know. So, David doesn't owe any allegiance to any country, only Ghana. And so all of these things are known to the parties. And so that's why the parties have a vetting committee, just to ensure, say, and what Gyakye Quayson has done, for me, he lied to the Electoral Commission. In this case, a public officer.
Did he lie?
Sammy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did he lie? Because from the account Makai documents now Makai or notify the body mandated for the conduct of the elections to say, my filing me papers, me crata, me certificate, me final a year set me in mensa ebekana by this time. Enti me documents in near me try me final certification.
At the time of filing.
When lies the lies.
You see, we should be honest with ourselves. He knew he was going to contest, right?
Until the starting process in 2019.
He knew he was going to contest.
Yes.
And
yes.
So why was he waiting for him to win the NDC primaries to, as it were, facilitate or to speed up the process?
No, yeah, that cannot be the case. Because
if
Nipani filing in 2019.
Samiti.
Immediately after filing.
So one,
it is no longer within his control.
So one, Samiti, one, his intention to be a member of parliament to represent the people.
It's not a today matter.
It's not a secret, right?
Yes.
So 2016, you disqualify, at the level of the party level, no. I mean,
legitimate.
So
very legitimate question.
So we should not. So long as the law is concerned, for me, so long as the law is concerned, I don't have sympathy for him.
All right.
So long as the law is concerned, I don't have sympathy because Emrani clear. Say ansana obe contesting. You should not owe allegiance to anybody. At the time he was contesting or filing his papers, his certificate to show, say, Onye Canadian was not given to the Electoral Commission unless it tells us, say, that certificate, I just say indeed, Onye, his switch has been completed. No, was it given to the Electoral Commission? It was. He only informed them. Say your friend is saying, my certificate in MI, and I say, and I'm sober. And so why do we say no? It cannot be.
Mamiji David thoughts. I say Dave.
Yeah. I think I'll be listening to my brother. Just to start with where he ended at. Say at the time, also contesting 2012, 2016, and subsequently 2020.
Yeah.
And reference if you are going for a passport and you applied for it, until you have the passport in your hand, you could not say you have a passport. Now, the issue is not that simple. If you look at Gyakye Quayson's issue, from what we are told, he made filings, apart from contesting for the primaries of his party, which is not an easy issue anyway, even though Supreme Court kind of mentioned it, that it's part of the process. I mean, the simple analogy to that is, if a party, someone is a candidate for a party, until he files, if anything happens to that candidate, God forbid, if anything happened to the candidate, the party is free to change their candidate, whoever leads them, until he files. So that argument of having contested on the party tickets doesn't really make sense.
How?
No, I mean, if you file for your party, you contest on your party's ticket, the party assess all the candidates and look at who is better placed to win the election. If between the time he filed for the party ticket and the time he's going to be filing for at the EC, he could do anything about his nationality?
No, Dave.
I'm coming.
That's why it's a bit technical. That's why I was hesitant.
I'm saying that.
That's why I was hesitant.
If anything had happened to him, okay? If anything had happened to Gyakye Quayson, the party would have changed him.
Yes, the party can change him.
And And any other person could have been the one contesting,
but the party also knows that the Constitution stipulates who qualifies.
And I'm saying
to
that
be a member of Parliament or even a candidate.
At the point of filing at the EC, that is where the issue is. Because at that point, until you file at the EC, haven't we had situations where, you know, political parties, 2 people had gone to file? I can't remember the particular incident, but 2 people, you know, in the confusion had gone to file for the same party. EC decide who to accept. It's happened in this country before. But I'm saying that maybe we can even put the Supreme Court argument on the side. I'm not sure he's saying that whatever he's done in 2016, 2012 is why they are trying him.
No, but it's a legitimate question. If he wanted to contest in 2012, 2016, and this process had kick-started in 2019, what was he doing? What was he hoping to achieve in 2012, 2016 when he had not renounced?
You cannot. I mean, he didn't become an MP. He didn't become an MP. He didn't. So yes. you cannot use that to measure whatever he's doing now.
True.
Now the issue here is this: he filed with the EC. At the filing, when he was filing at the EC, as you rightly put it, he put his documents down. He put his documents down, and EC said, and he showed all his documents. EC said, look, we've seen it. There's nothing wrong with this. And then, before the election would take place, he brought his certificate, which clears him. If the EC had said, look, with this thing we have seen, without the certificate, it's incomplete. Because the EC is trained. They are the governors of the election. So they, at that point, said that, look, you have no problem. And what's the name? The Supreme Court is not mandated to run elections. No. They interpret laws. They are not mandated to run elections. The person who runs the election says, look, you are cleared to go. And at the point that he submitted his certificate, there was nothing wrong with it.
That clearance is subject to interpretation.
Yeah, but so if the interpretation is being done,
this is post.
There is the
post
person,
the effect.
Yes, yeah. But the person who is mandated to run the election, to run the election, acquiesced. And that is what it is. That he did not force himself on them. He did not lie to them. That must be made clear. So when the president, with all the wisdom and authority invested in him, go and stand in Nasinov and said that a person is going to go to prison, that in itself is reckless. Very, very reckless. A person who is in charge of this country, who has been entrusted with our judiciary and everything, go and make such a reckless statement that someone is going to jail, a lawyer with his repute. I can't imagine it.
Today he's a lawyer.
Well,
Why has he said anywhere that the president is not a lawyer?
That the president is a lawyer? I've never disputed that. You can go and have that issue with Nana Kunidu. So, it is, look, I think that we should all condemn what the president has gone to say yesterday. It took away everything from the Supreme, what is happening in Asinov. It took away everything, the beauty of it. I mean, like you said, it's been incident-free, regardless of the propaganda, the skirmishes going on there. I mean, from the grounds, you know, the governing party had gone there to try to do their roast. It ended up in a mess from what I gathered. They went to try to smoothen the road. It ended up becoming floody place. Saturday, Friday, Dr. Baumia was there to commission an AstroTurf in the midst of the by-election. The following day, the AstroTurf became a flat point. They went to try to cut road for some village. The road they tried to cut rather block the villagers from having access to other parts. I mean, all those skirmishes, the hiring of season of hotels, you know, to prevent their opponents from all those ones. I mean, let's say it's just the controversies of by-elections. But the president going to stand there and as if he's a child, a kid, just throw it out there. No, please. Throw it out there. Look, the Constitution, the president, look, anybody can take that seat, the president's seat. Anybody at all can see them. So it behoves on all of us
polish your words.
To make sure that that seat,
just ask him to not to use that word. Because
I said that the president had been reckless, very reckless.
That I didn't buy you from saying.
You cannot say
like a child.
I mean, that is not fair.
I mean, it's children who are allowed to be reckless.
Polish your words.
It's children who are allowed to be reckless.
Don't defend
the president.
I mean, if you say the president was recklessness, I mean, I have no problems
like a child. Children are allowed to be reckless.
Don't look for ways to. I mean, don't run away from it. Just be bold and say something.
I said the president is a child. I said
don't be
was as reckless as
be bold and just.
I am being bold to say that the president was as reckless as a child.
No, please.
Children are allowed to be reckless.
Please. Sammy, I think you need to stop this kind of behavior. It's not fair.
Dave.
Because you cannot say this anyway.
Look, if you describe it as reckless, I'll allow it. But to say that he's behaving like a child,
no, Dave.
At this point,
you need to delete.
I'm going to have to tell you.
So I said that the president was reckless.
Yes.
That one, like a child. Did anybody raise an issue?
I have no problem with that.
Nobody raised an issue when you said the president was reckless.
I have no problem with that.
Because I mean, we are humans. People have been reckless. You can say, but to liken him to a child, I mean, come on. You need to be fair.
You can do better.
You are talking to a president. You are president.
I'm saying that.
You can do better.
Children.
Please,
it is the very reason.
Please don't take us back. Please, if you are not, if you are not,
I'm supposed to withdraw that the president recklessness is not It's not like
I have no qualms
cannot
with
say
the
that the president is being.
I have no qualms. I think that yeah, agrees with you. I agree with you that it was a reckless
Nobody raised an issue when you said the president was reckless. Like a child, I mean, come on, please.
Don't pass.
You need to show.
The president wasn't behaving like a child.
Dave,
you need to show respect. Don't subject this to.
I'm saying
that please.
I withdraw that, and I'm saying that the president wasn't behaving like a child, but he was so reckless, very reckless in making that statement that someone is going to go to prison when the matter is before court. That you cannot expect it from even a layman, let alone the president who is a lawyer. I hope my point is clear on that. So, I think that we are allowed to do anything. Look, if you look at the chronology of issues surrounding this Gyakye Quayson thing, how the skirmishes behind the scene went on. When he went to Parliament the first time, and they were supposed to be voting for a speaker, what actually happened, how he got into the Parliament there, you know, so it was as if the rule of law doesn't work in this country. This matter,
yeah, about by-elections. Adamu Sakande.
You liken it to Adamu Sakande?
No, wait. But we know in this country when, what's the name of the gentleman? Is it Smala Bebel?
Yeah, the cattle farmer.
Yes. Didn't we hear of the persons behind sponsoring his
court case? You know what the president said yesterday?
And in the end, we saw the end beneficiary.
It's not about the sponsoring.
It's about what?
I think I allowed you to speak.
It's about
I think I was very quiet when you were speaking.
Because
okay, go ahead.
I was very quiet when you were speaking.
You are raising issues that is
it wasn't as if
anyway,
you raised issues that were not questionable.
As I do to Andy, yeah, oye be atro. Yanko, Dave.
Mafa penama.
Any ball phone so.
Please, get him a paper.
This pen is infested with propaganda.
It is I will try my head and I mean introduce you as that's what I said. Dave. Oh, 3 minutes.
5 minutes.
Say
3 minutes of added time.
No, 3 minutes of deducted time. Maybe 3 minutes.
Oh, but he obliged.
The OG and one kind.
Simon also added some few comments. I read it. It was Accra Times.
Okay.
Yeah, Yanko, Dave.
Dean.
3 minutes.
Okay, so what I was saying is, as much as I enjoyed listening to my brother's voice, I don't think he added anything really new to this, except to throw in a few more confusions.
How confusion?
The issue about Adamu Sakande and Gyakye Quayson, are not the same. They are clear. The only Charlie, this 3 minutes. What is this?
Oh, man, yeah, true.
There are issues of nationality. I don't want to come in when he has finished.
Ah, that's not fair.
No.
Money, money.
Issues of nationality.
Money.
After all, I'm not the Supreme Court. Supreme Court has given its ruling. We are here to share our opinion.
Yes,
and let's respect that. Let's respect that. So, what I'm saying is that Gyakye Quayson is different from Adamu Sakende.
Yes.
As far as this issue of dual nationality is concerned.
Okay.
And it is not so difficult to, establish that in one case, Sakende had 3 citizenship, which he never declared to EC. Quayson actually submitted all the processes he had gone through in line with his renunciation to the EC. EC is the only institution mandated to run our elections. It's not the president. It is not Supreme Court. And they said, go ahead and, submit your certificate when it comes. Indeed, the certificate even came before the election was run. So at no time, indeed, within this electoral, filing thing, did it emerge that Gyakye Quayson lied to the EC. It is not the Supreme Court. It is not President Akufo-Addo. It is not MPP. It is not even NDC. He did not lie to the EC, which is mandated to run election. That is clear. So, in all these things, where is the EC? So, and the EC is a state body. So, if they have done something like this, just as the Supreme Court is, they have acquiesced in if they had erred. Supreme Court has a mandate to interpret election. It is an area that no other institution can verse into. So, if the EC has erred, they have erred. Gyakye Quayson did not err in this. The law is there for all of us to interpret. When you said that 194 says that a person who becomes MP should not have citizenship of any other country, at the time he became the MP, he was not a citizen of any other country apart from Ghana. Okay, but like I said, so that is the argument. You see, it's not about wanting him to be in jail or not wanting him. If you flout the law, please, you had your time. You had your time. I think this thing is not good. You are a gentleman. You see, gentleman in green.
Oh, Jason. The processes of election pass you to do A, B, C. In that process, Gyakye Quayson did not do A, B, C.
You see, this impunity was what led the president to go and do what he did yesterday.
Simon, comment on the Abraham. Also, Quayson never came to Ghana with a Canadian passport in 2020 because he renounced his citizenship in 2019, came to Ghana in 2020. At the time of voting and being sworn into office, he had a certificate and thus owed no allegiance to Canada, but only Ghana. Even the day Sakande was jailed, he was still having a UK and Burkinabe passport. He didn't even take a step to initiate the process. So, is it not ironical for anyone to try and link the 2 cases today just for political expediency? Ghana is not a banana republic. Okay, also they are the Bremen. And it can come after all the talking you had the chance to talk, still also comments, but anyway.
But let me just run.
I'm giving you your 3 minutes. I'm giving you your 3 minutes. No, okay. Your 3 minutes there is exhausted.
Okay.
We have less than 10 minutes to end the show. You're 8 minutes. 4 no. Bobe say license exams we better touch on it, and I say Bobe say asin not watching. The ebe koso mo pese mo kan ho asem.
But I think there are other issues.
Yes.
But
yeah.
There's Ablekuma bullion van.
Yes, the Ablekuma bullion van as well. Yeah, which who be na asin not, and I say Ablekuma, and I say license exams.
Say other matters. Then I choose where.
Okay, where are you going? Where are you going?
Yes, still on Asendo.
Yeah,
the people of Asendo should not be subjected to what they have been going through over the last 2.5 years.
Okay.
By an individual's selfish interest.
Okay.
The people should look and ask themselves questions. What is the future of Gyakye Quayson in an event, in an unlikely event that he wins? Because for lying to a public officer there are consequences. And so when David here says that the electoral officer says it's okay, so I submit my papers or my nomination forms to the Electoral Commission, still holding my Canadian passport or still holding my Canadian citizenship, and then the electoral officer at the point of receiving it says that, oh, it's okay, let me process you. Do you think that is enough? It is not what the electoral officer says that matters. It is what the law says. And the laws of Ghana are clear. And
but the electoral officer is the one who took the CI, what governs every election. It is the electoral officer who goes with a CI to determine how the elections is going to be conducted. And he says that the person is clear to go.
But what is the law saying? In the end, the law will be interpreted not by the electoral officer.
True.
But by the Supreme Court.
But on that point about you are making with and about and they shouldn't make the mistake, say, and for the past years in your court and Atu forcing goes to court. Oh. Is he serving his people?
Oh, yeah. Please.
There are other MPs who have been MPs who still go to court. Does it affect their people?
We are not looking at. There are different scenarios.
No, they are not different scenarios. Yeah. Does Atu forcing not go to court?
There are different scenarios.
He goes to court.
Unless you want
his charges are even.
Unless you want to say that, look, go ahead and give him the mandate, notwithstanding the criminal charges and the potential for him.
Yeah.
So,
I want to be as balanced as possible.
He's even doing better
no,
than the president.
I want to be as balanced as possible. Because if you make the argument that the people of Asin North must vote on the basis of
the same.
The
two are not the same. The two are not the same. Atu Forson eligibility as a member of parliament for what's the name of it?
If he's found guilty, what happens to him?
Atu Forson's situation is different.
No, if Atu Forson is found guilty,
in the case of Quayson, the processes leading to him becoming a member of parliament are a criminal, and that is what is being challenged in court.
Now Atu Forson then.
Atu Forson's situation is different, and I do not want to bring that in.
Why?
I do not want to bring that in.
He's a member of parliament who goes to court.
I said I am but who is challenging his eligibility as a member of parliament? Who is challenging the processes leading to him becoming?
But it
is different, Sammy.
Is Quayson's situation now any different?
Sammy, you are improperly interrupting me. Please. At this point.
Yes.
Is this 4 minutes?
I can't 1 minute.
No. Say we have 10 minutes to finish the program. And so we are doing it. So when the 10 minutes is over, it's over. We go. So the point I'm making is that dictator panelists. Oh.
But who they from
the store.
Like the two of you. You're all wearing European suits. You are wearing one button. He's also wearing one button.
And now you're the Africanist.
Look at him. You say a British trained journalist, you come and sit and you talk. The point I'm making is that Gyakye Quayson has not been fair, and to a large extent, the NDC has also not been fair. Unless the NDC, for instance, want to tell us that in Asin North, the only person they have who can lead their party is Gyakye Quayson. And for that reason, even if the man is sentenced to prison, he will still be their member of parliament. It's not fair to all the parties involved.
Is he qualified to contest? Yeah. Is Gyakye Quayson qualified to contest this election?
No.
He's not qualified?
He's not qualified. He's not qualified on grounds that
yes.
One, he lied to Electoral Commission.
But that is a past issue, which has been dealt with by the court.
Okay, so Sameh is arrested for stealing 100 million. He says that, take your 100 million.
No. It is now the court that is going to determine that the Sameh really steal the 100 million. That is where we are.
Sameh has stolen the money. And says that, okay, Jawade.
Yes.
Yes, and that's exactly what is happening.
It's not the same.
So,
Gyakye
Quayson's intent.
It's not the same.
His intent and evil mind is what is being challenged, what is being tried.
The documents, the
Electoral Commission.
The AMPA. Nipanisi obetimi go through. In the end, a super force has said that process was wrong. And now the AG says there is some criminality in there.
Is it true? It is not the issue of the AG. The process. No. It is. Isn't the issue of the processes leading to it?
Since he doesn't want me to.
Yeah, you can go. You can leave. You can go. You can leave the studio and then we have the.
3 minutes.
3 minutes saying.
Are you being fair?
No, 3 minutes.
You see,
tell him to drive on the Bullion van, not to divert to any other issue.
In this Asin North issue, there's a traversy of justice ongoing, and which has been led from what the president did yesterday, largely by himself. And if there's any...
But for the president... Hold on, Dave. But for the president's comment yesterday, what comment had he made about Gyakye Quayson?
That comment is too strong.
No, Dave. But for the president's comment... But for the president's comment... No, Dave.
The president prejudiced the court.
He did not only do that. How?
Well, the processes have been ongoing.
But for the president's comment yesterday, what had the president said?
President Mahama, for instance, has been
about Gyakye Quayson.
I'm saying that
the processes
what he said yesterday,
as nonsense.
he has
heard all of those
he has raped the constitution that we have entrusted.
But that is post the ruling. Before the ruling,
there is a case in court, and he is saying the person is going to go to jail. It's not post ruling.
Before.
No, I'm saying that he's saying that the man who is contesting for the parliamentary seat is going to jail. He's made himself the judge.
He was not that explicit.
He's made himself the judge. Go and listen to the tape. He was very explicit. Look,
he wasn't.
So that is who he is. But what I'm saying is that if there is any injustice done to the people of Asin North, it is the president and his people
it is
who have denied Asin North people development.
It is the NDC.
He has it is the people of Asin North. The people of Asin North went into polls 2020. They went into
and then
they went into polls 2020. This is not a healthy. This is not healthy.
Let me interrupt you when he's making the wrong.
Please, let's respect ourselves. I've known you for a very long time, and you've been a very gentleman. You've been a very gentleman. Let's go by that. Let's remain gentle. Let's remain gentle. So what I'm saying is that the injustice done to the people of Asin North is that for the past how many months the person they went to the polls 2020 to elect has not been allowed to work. There have been all kinds of machinations. The people, in spite of everything, voted for this.
Who did he make him to serve?
I'm saying the president.
How was it the president who took the case to court?
Well, the president did not take it to court.
Yes,
but we saw the manipulations that went on in Asin.
So you think that the judiciary will sit down for the...
If I had any doubt, what the president said yesterday, confirms.
No, Dave.
Look.
No way about it.
So what are you saying? That the president prejudicing the court is okay for you?
To court.
But he's right to prejudice the court.
An individual took the matter to court. How does the president come in?
Sami, I know sometimes you try to play the devil's advocate.
No, I'm not playing the devil's advocate.
This is not one of the occasions you should do that. Because your integrity is at stake here.
No, it's not a fair comment.
On this, your integrity is at stake.
It's not a fair comment.
That the president can go and make any reckless comment.
No, the president did not issue... It's not the one who went to court. And that process that led to Gyakye Quayson finding himself in a situation, it was not instigated by the president. It was an individual.
Do you know that the president is the custodian of our constitution? You know that?
That is not an issue. Everyone knows.
You know that.
So
when you go and make such comment as he made yesterday, it is prejudicial to the court.
I can agree with you.
Yes. So if he makes the said statement, and we have seen all that, of course, I cannot sit here within the 1 minute you are going to give me to explain the how things went in the Cape Coast Court, where they were trying to injunct the gentleman, and then the people, when they were the NDC was trying to file a stay of execution, they went to the place and there was nobody to receive even their filings. Then they sent soldiers and police to Parliament to prevent him from getting into Parliament. I mean, that is absurd. If you want to even compare this to Adamu Sakande, Adamu Sakande's case had been in court till it was determined by the court. Before any
had been in Parliament,
and he represented his people all through, because the representation of the people is key. It's very key. You cannot at any time try to disallow people from being represented.
Based upon that I disagree with you on the point he was making.
But the president, of course,
in the end was sent to jail.
Yes, after the finality of the issue.
You need to get my point. My point.
But he didn't die in jail. Yes. He didn't die in jail. He was granted pardon.
My point
came out
on grounds of health.
Yes, and came out.
And he came out and died. But the government at that time didn't want him to die so that they would take that embarrassment.
How many people haven't gone to jail and after jail they later died?
We are looking at.
Are you attributing it to him going to jail?
We are looking at.
I think it's diversion.
You are diversion. Anyway,
now that is politically motivated.
If you say on that
turbulent offense in London, I'll thank every one of you, especially my two gentlemen who today decided to make my job very, very difficult. Yeah, Obi Menu and David Tamakloe.